This is Out Loud and Laughing.
Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the show. David Burtka. Are you kidding me? We are so honored to have you here today. You've been a presence in our lives, and whether it's following you along on screen or on stage, perhaps even the kitchen, or as a proud father, we just wanted to thank you for making the time and talking to us today.
My pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
David, I have to start by saying, as a father of two young kids, actually, I also went through surrogacy with my husband. We're a little behind you. Our kids are a little bit younger, but we followed your journey for years. So the way you and Neil have built your family is something that we've admired. So super
Is that
excited.
you with the kids in the background? That's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, and also fun fact, the one thing that we did steal from you guys is we do the matching Halloween costumes, and we've done them every year,
Nice.
and that's a tradition that we're hoping we don't have to give up as Kenzie starts to form an opinion.
You know what? It's been interesting for us. We thought it was going to be done at 10, and what we found is that the kids really look forward to it. It's a
Yeah.
tradition that they sort of are into. Um, and I think they like the attention.
Mm.
You know?
Completely the attention. Completely the attention. And then, of course, David, on a more personal note, as you know from our podcast, I've been on my own journey with sobriety, and I know you have too. And we appreciate your openness and sharing it with your audience. It's very powerful. But it's also been a source of strength for me. So thank you for that.
How much time do you have?
As long as you'd like, trust me.
No,
know
I mean,
that
how much
goes.
time in sobriety do you have?
Oh, excuse me. I thought you meant today. Well,
That's funny too. Yeah.
one day at a time, David. No, I have this October will be 3 years.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I know that you're leading the charge on that one. So
Oh no, it's not a competition.
Absolutely.
We're all in it together.
Okay, we're excited, David. We're gonna dive into just a bunch of beautiful themes in your life and all the things
Love
you
it.
have going on. So, I wanted to kick off with Parenthood because it's my whole life now, as you know. Like I'm in the thick of it. I have a 4 and a 6-year-old. So my world is filled with a lot of like, what do I teach them? My oldest just started kindergarten 2 weeks ago, so we're moving into the whole PTA, all of that fun stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like now that your kids, I believe, are 15 now.
They'll be 15 in October.
Amazing. So then,
Yeah.
obviously, you're still teaching them things because they're still, they're teens. But like, what? There must have been a shift for you now at some point. Like, what are they teaching you?
It's wild. 4 and 6, you're so in it. You're
Mm.
really, really in it. I mean, I really think it starts getting to be the golden time when they turn around 4.5, and then from like 4 till 11 or 12, it is just like soak it up. Like it is so great. It is
Yeah.
so great. And then the preteen to teen comes in and it's tricky. Older kids, well, bigger kids, bigger problems, they say. But so yeah, I really do. Well, I try to teach my kids as much as I can. I don't appreciate the parents that say, "Oh, they're just teens. That's just what they do." But
Mm.
I think that's not true. Like, I think you still have to hold your kids accountable, and you have to teach them still manners. And when people come over, you make sure that they're looking them in the eye and putting your hand out and saying, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm David." And like they say something in a follow-up question or something, and give them a compliment or whatever it is, just to be a personal thing, and like get off your phone and like just join the world. But I, I, you guys sent me this question beforehand, and the thing that is just that they're teaching me is the alpha language, the
Mm.
generation alpha language, and I've written some stuff down, which is just
yes.
hilarious. And I don't know, maybe we could do a little thing of like, do you guys know what these words are? Because it's fascinating.
Yes.
So I have a bop. You guys know what a
Uh-huh.
bop is? It was usually like first started out like as a song, like
Mhm.
it's a great song, but now it's like if she's a bop, she's a slut.
Ooh, good. I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes. I
Okay.
didn't know
Yeah.
I needed a pen. Thank you for letting me know.
Like when someone says my husband, you would think like my husband, but guys can say it too. It's like my mate or my like girlfriend, boyfriend, like
H-U-S, Huz.
HUZ.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huz, H-U-Z, excuse me.
There's
I'm so old.
Do you guys know what a gyat is?
Gyat?
Gyat. It's
No,
like a big butt or like an awesome body. Like, man, she's got a yacht.
Oh my
Or
God.
that guy has a yacht.
I was
You
gonna say I've
are
been called it before, but no, I'm just kidding.
I am getting so much anxiety right now, David, because like she's
It's
only
crazy.
6. Yeah, this is gonna
It's
get wild.
crazy. And Neil's like, can't you guys just talk? Like, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? Um, what's mogging? Like, what is a mog when you're like looking outshining others? But like, yeah, you just say that you're looking better than others. But like, there's something to say about like getting onto their level. Like, I really think that um you need to connect with them in any sort of way you can possibly do it. And I love it. I think it's hilarious, these words. I mean, there's tons more. There's tons more, but just trying to figure out their lingo. And
Mm,
it goes into the next question of like, what do I wish I can like, what I wish I do differently, or what can I do now as a parent? I think try and spend as much time with them with their interests. Like, my son is a gamer and loves to play video games, and I could care
Yeah.
about video games. I never got them. But as I'm trying to like connect to him in this level, I'm trying to like, oh, and what does that thing do? And what does that person do? And why are you doing, it's like trying to spend time with him that he can teach me or want to show me something. I think that's the way you sort of, I think, can connect, because these days are very, they're going away. So
mhm.
You're absolutely.
I'm trying to take as much as I can. Like, when they come up with a suggestion to do it, I'm like, let's do it, because I know that like these are not gonna it's not gonna happen in 4 years. They're gonna be off in college, and a lot of my friends have kids that are going to college, and they're like, it is so sad. It's so sad.
That's I mean, while we're on the topic, it's so interesting because you talk a lot about connection and I was listening to you earlier on talking about like keeping them accountable. And they just sort of, seeing reflections in children just teaches us so much about ourselves. I wonder what that's been like for you. I don't have children personally per se, but
Well, also, it's like the best form of teaching is action. Like,
Mm.
honestly, you're gonna if they see you act super rude to a server, they're probably gonna act super rude to a server. So like, lead by example. Like, just try and be as kind and cool. And I mean, you know, children might not listen, but they will watch. They will watch you. They will see how you live your life, and that's how they'll live their life. So we try to be as good people as we can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't be more accurate. They're sponges. Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
say something, they're saying it, and you're like, oh, ooh, maybe I should have, not did that in front of the kids. So,
But do you want to know something, which is I found really interesting as a parent? Um, Neil and I didn't really use profanity much around them. It was sort of
mm,
condoned, and we didn't, watch your language and all of this stuff. But the families that I see that have had moms or dads that had really awful language, fucks and shits and all of that. Okay, I think I could say that as a podcast.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
the kids don't have that language. They don't use that language as much as the parents. Like, they say, "Oh, I don't want to talk that way." My daughter's mouth is like a sailor. I cannot even every other word. I'm like, "Harper, you are literally what is wrong with like what is wrong with you? How is this coming out of your mouth?" Like, it's crazy.
Do you
yeah.
have
So,
a
and then the kids
sentence?
that I know that like their mom would say fucking shit and whatever that, like, the kids are not, I think they don't want to lead by example. So it's that thing is of like, you, some of the bad qualities they sort of want to change, which is
Hmm.
interesting. So
I mean, I think what's interesting about your journey is that you guys were very early on, like
Yeah.
gay parents doing surrogacy. Because even my husband and I did it we started in 2018. Kenzie was born in 2019. And even then, that was still, there was very limited resources. There was no community to like ask questions about like egg donors and all of that emotional stuff that, you've dealt with. And we're just like, it's all very upfront stuff and it's heavy. Like, what advice would you give? I talk about this to myself all the time, actually. Like, what advice would I have given myself in 2018 when I started this journey? What do you think you would have told yourself now knowing? Because like there's a lot of listeners that we have a big gay community and it's like they might be thinking about this and like
Right.
it's heavy and it's hard. It's beautiful once it all comes to fruition, but what would you tell your younger self?
Well, we did. I mean, we really, for the first couple of years, we did the rye technique. REI. Do you know rye technique? So we let them sort of just be independent and just watch from afar and let them, like, we had this staircase thing that turned into a boat, and they really learned to use their bodies in a way that I mean, they when they fall, they get up and they walk, like, brush themselves off. They're really aware of their body, and are independent, like, don't look around, like walking around the city. They've never broken bones because I think they had such an awareness of like how they learn to move. Um so I would say get out of the way. Like, honestly, get out of the way and let them sort of course, you, like, with a baby, of course, and with toddlers, you have to, watch. But I think I would do less control. I think I would be like that parent of like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Let them decide more. I think, and the word not is really powerful. Like, I think don't and not is a don't do this or don't do that. I think if you can sort of flip the phrase, and maybe you should try this, or have you ever thought about that, or giving them like three suggestions. You either have this or this as an
Mm.
option, and that's it. And I think say less too. Like, I don't think, when you're where you're at right now in four and six, it has to be super precise because they don't have the mentality. Like, Neil is
Yeah.
such a cerebral person, and he loves to sort of diatribe monologue, and he would talk to me talking to these kids. It's like, this is what you should do, and that would, and they're just, after the first sentence, they're done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they got
Checked
nothing.
out.
So it's like,
Yeah.
be super, like, clear, and this is your option, and that is your option, and that's it. And
That's
say less.
and say less. I think there's so much value in that alone. And
Say less, do less, control, not be so, yeah. There is a, I'm sorry, I cut you off terribly.
it's no, but this is exactly where we're going. I mean, you're sort of taking the reins in a great direction simply because I was going to say that Harper and Gideon sound like they've had a really great sense of North Stars with you and Neil as their guide at the helm there. But you spoke about like discovery and awareness and independence, getting out of the way, saying less, sort of like staying present and letting things sort of evolve. Along that journey, they're 15 and 16 now. About what along the way, what are the most profound ways that you've noticed you've changed? I mean, that's got to be sort of a life-changing journey for all
I'm
of you.
gonna, I'm gonna also interject there too. It's like, you have to say less, but also, like, they're in such a weird place that they want to be their own person, but
Mhm.
you have to step back and let them do that, but also just be there if they need you, because they do
Mm-hmm.
need you. They're still very dependent on you, but they think they're adults and they think they know everything. The teen eras are like all ego. That's all they only can think about
Well,
anything but themselves. And it's interesting. In terms of what I learned about myself, like, um it's been a crazy it's been a crazy journey this last year. And you know I've had a bunch of surgeries, and in the stillness, I discovered a bunch of stuff from that happened in my past. And I think just putting myself in their shoes of what they're going through, like, I mean, do you remember? your teen years, like it was horrible. Like
Absolutely.
what kids are going through now, and I mean, I had it easy compared to them. Like what is happening in our world politically and social media and
Mhm.
war and like this polarization that we have in this country, what COVID did to, I mean, there's like these kids are going to be so resilient when they're older. It's amazing on how strong, and how resilient kids are in general. But I've learned to I've learned to sort of get back to me, really, because it becomes so much about them for their whole life. Like now that they sort of don't need me as much, I'm saying, oh shit, yeah, I should probably go back to like what makes me happy and what's going to feed my soul and what's going to um how I'm going to take care of myself, because you got to put the oxygen mask on first. And I'm realizing that, like, um and that's what I've learned. And I think it's interesting as the kids get older, because let me tell you, having kids is, I have to say, the hardest thing on a relationship. It really, being different, like having different parental views, and it's not about each other anymore, it's about them. So now that the kids, there's like one of the nights they had like they were hanging out with friends, and Neil and I were alone. We're like, oh yeah, I remember you. You're
Hey,
you're you're pretty fucking cool. I really, there's a reason I wanted to spend time with you. So it's nice to see that we are going to start growing together as a unit again. So
Well, that gives me hope because I'm still in the thick of it.
it's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy on a relationship.
It's
Like I
hard.
don't know how people. It's just wild.
Yeah, because it's not even learning how to parent, but it's learning how to be new. It's a different marriage now, right? So you're figuring out your new way as a new community of four. And so, I'll let John kind of take this in a different direction.
And
But
it
thank you.
always changes. It's like just when
It's
you think you have the feeding down, there's now, this, or you had the diapers
yes.
down, now they're walking and they're walking. Oh my God, now they're running. Just when you think you have something that you're like, oh, I got this, there's something else that comes into the mix. It's always changing. And I mean, I do think like it's going to be your whole life. I think it lessens, but I do think like you never stop worrying about your kids.
You never get comfortable. That's what we say in this house. Because once you get comfortable, shit gets crazy.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard that said.
I found just now what you said, David, it lessens, and then I like heard the word like learning lessons, and I sort of attributed this idea around like the pain gets less the more you learn, essentially. So that was really interesting. But I really enjoyed how you were saying and how important it is for everybody, parents or not parents, to remember that you are the control to this journey. You are the person that you need to get to know and take care of. And it's important to keep yourself, like you said, curious. What makes you happy? What feeds your soul? We've touched already about how becoming a father has changed you, but I know I wanted to talk a little bit about how that relates to your sobriety journey overall. And having gone on my own sobriety journey, I can personally attest that I deeply understand the importance of letting things go, like the ego that you were talking about, which we see a lot in people. Like I learned that I was carrying a lot of that into my journey. Can you talk about how this impacted you? Of course, I'm sure this changed the way you showed up as a father, as a partner, a creative, a chef. I mean, every aspect of your life. So, however you'd like to unpack that, we're here to listen.
Oh wow. Oh my God. Now how much time do we have? It's changed my life profoundly. Like the fact that um it's been 9 years, and it's I do feel like I'm kind of like a baby or a teenager or a teen or a tween in the world of life. I don't think that I started drinking and using when I was pretty young. So I think that numbing and trying to get out of my body um, for like most of my life, uh, trying just to live fully as a human and you actually have those emotions and actually feel things, um, has been, like having training wheels in life. Um, it sobriety teaches you so much. I think everybody in high school, or not even high school, but college, should do the 12 steps just for your own, even if you don't have any sort of addiction or whatever. I think it's so good just to look inner to like um what lessons they have to give you. um I think turning it over, like what you said, like surrendering. It's like, I never was a real God person. I was raised Roman Catholic, and some shit happened in my past that made me go, there's no fucking way I'm going
Yeah.
to believe in the church anymore. And then getting back to sort of like some sort of higher power or divinity or God or whatever you want to call it, just having a belief of like something that sort of drives you. And I don't want to get all like religious because I'm not a religious person, but I do think there is importance to have something to look up to and something to say, okay, it's not up to me. I'm not going to be able to, you know, control the sun going up and down. So why do I have control in my life? Like, I just have to let it unfold naturally the way it's supposed to unfold. And the worry, the fear, the bullshit, all the time spent of the shame and all of that is like so just not needed in life. Why don't we be in joy? Like,
Hmm.
if you can just be in joy and do things that you love, like enjoy, then you'll fucking enjoy your life. Like,
Plain and simple.
it's just, and it's so sometimes so hard to just grasp that and just get out of your way of all the voices that are in your head and this internal family systems, this that your critic and your people trying to like protect you. But if you can get through that and just say like, look, it's my life and I'm gonna do what makes me happy, and and peel this onion back of life. It really is an onion. I feel like every layer is something new that I'm discovering about myself. Um,
It's
it's super important, I think. And the 12 steps of going back and like making amends to people that you hurt, like the weight lifted off your shoulders of like the things that you regretted when you were younger, stupid and not thinking, or like you did when you were drunk. Like, it really, and then practicing the principles in all of our affairs, like all of these things that we learn in AA, like
Yep.
using it in every day, in work, in family, in life. Like, it's so amazing. It's so taking the next right action in life is just so important to me. And I
Well,
mean, I could talk about it forever, but I know that there's other things to talk about. But I'm
no,
sure
I love it. I love it, David. You bring up so many points, and it's so important. And the more people that I talk to also, and I'm sure you can relate over your 9 years, the more I hear like this, the stories are so similar. They say a lot in our world that you're not so unique, you're not so different, like kind of like chill out queen, sit down, right? Like your problems are your problems and everybody has problems. I completely also relate to your baby steps. I always say that I feel like Bambi, like just trying to learn how to walk is the visual I say. I've only been sober 3 years and I'm learning how to like process my emotions for the first time. And then you talked about peeling back the onion as if everything is food with you, David. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think it's a great.
everything is food with me though. I can't
um,
stop eating today for some reason. There's something like I cannot stop putting things in my mouth. It's crazy. It's like,
what have,
stop,
what have
close the
what have you eaten
refrigerator.
today? What have you eaten today,
Oh
David?
my God, what have I eaten? I finished my son's protein shake that I made him for breakfast. I had an apple. Then I had There was something in between that. I don't something in between
You're
that.
just down to a whole tub of hummus. I mean, you're
Then
just
I
going
had
full
no, then I
send.
went, then I was uptown and I had I had a yogurt and then I had a like this frittata thing and then a half of like a apple muffin that I basically picked all the apple pieces out and ate the crumble top. Came home and had like a bowl of watermelon and then another bowl of peaches. And then I ate a protein bar. I'm like, what is happening with me? It's not like I'm eating like Doritos and candy,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know. I can't get enough of food right now. I think I'm pregnant.
There we go.
I was gonna say you
Maybe
should
that.
go pee on a stick, right? Um, so well, it just feels like I know these things, and I try to want to like dive or drive the conversation into something that you're working on and something that you and Neil have worked on together. Actually, I think it hybridizes a lot of what we've talked about here: your partnership, your time in the kitchen, and now your sobriety. You have a new book coming out, I believe September 30th.
Yeah, September 30th.
Yeah, both sides of the glass. It's a mocktail cocktail book, and
Yes,
I'm
I have it
really.
right here.
Do
I
you?
al-
You have a
Cocktails
copy?
and mocktails to toast any taste. Look at that.
and I pre-ordered mine,
You
David.
did? It's
I
a really
did.
great. It's got foil on it and
It looks
it talks
beautiful.
about sobriety and it's really great. It's a great book because it gives you like like I just opened up a page, hard water limeade. So that's like a
Oh,
cocktail. That's like a watermelon cocktail, but then you turn the page and you have the watermelon limeade that is the mocktail version. So if you're
Beautiful.
doing a
so smart.
party and you're doing a party and you're like doing, like a dirty Shirley, you got the NA version of it, like you would a gin drink, and then you sort of like have what would pair with that for people who drink and who don't drink. And I think it's great gifts for
Hmm.
people, especially the holidays, because you know I never bring like a bottle. I get a little angry if someone brings me a bottle of wine or a bottle
I
of
hear that.
champagne.
Yeah.
I was
Hmm.
like, you don't know that I drink. Like, this is not for me. At least
Yeah.
Hmm.
bring me chocolate. I mean, it's not their fault, and they're being nice. But like, I have this one couple who still brings me like bottles of rosé, and they're like, "Here's a bottle of
It's your
rosé," and it's like,
favorite.
I've known you for how long? And I've been sober for how long? It's so funny. But it's a great host gift because you don't know who doesn't drink, who drinks, and also kids love love having mocktails too. And there's a whole sober um wave that is happening. A friend of mine has a restaurant in Los Angeles, and she said no one's drinking anymore. It's all they want: mocktails, mocktails, mocktails. And I'm not a like in like 7 8 years ago, the mocktail lists on restaurants were just sugar and sugar,
Yeah.
like pineapple and ginger syrup, and you can have like maybe one of those and it's so many calories. But now what we're going into in terms of like using uh seed lip or like the phony negronis, like these things that feel special and adult but
Hmm.
are not super sweet and they taste good. And I mean, and for a drinker too, it's great if you have like a regular cocktail and then a mocktail and a regular cocktail and a mocktail. So you're not all night like just consuming booze, booze, booze. Um, I mean, some sober people find it hard to drink a phony Negroni because it tastes a little bit too much like Amaro or Campari. But I've never, for myself, I've never been triggered. And there also are like things that, feel more herbaceous. With like the seed lip, it seems more of like a
Hmm.
distilled herb drink as opposed to, a fake tequila. Some people think it's too triggering.
I mean, I
So
also think from because we're a household that does drink, but we don't drink all the time anymore. A, because it sits different in the morning now, where that we're
yeah,
we're older, and also our kids are up at 6 a.m. So like we also like the idea of having options because we're not always drinking in this house. So I appreciate that, and so I also wanted to ask because John and I were trying to figure out like a little more like digging deep in like why the book, right? And your journey through fatherhood and sobriety, it does feel like a masterclass in resilience and transparency, which with your book it also seems that's what it's also about. And so when we look at your life through a similar lens, what would be on the other side of the glass that people don't see? The struggles, the moments of doubt, the quiet triumphs, even maybe with just this book alone. Like, how did that idea come up? Was there doubts of even doing this? Like, Walk us
No,
through a
there
little
was
bit
no
behind the
doubt.
scenes.
Actually, it came from Neil's old assistant, an amazing girl named Zoe Chapin. She was like,
Yeah.
"This space is crazy right now, and no one's done a book
Mm-hmm.
that has had the alcohol and NA non-alcoholic versions. Like this seems like a great idea." So she, ended up pitching, and we worked all together on this amazing book. And there was no doubt that this would happen. But what's on the other side of the glass for me, it's wild. As I'm getting older and my kids are getting older, and I dedicated my life to, I was an actor. I've been an actor, right out of college, and got right out of the gate, and got many successes in my 20s. And then as my mom died early, like 18 years ago, I was like, I need to stop the being rejected by auditions and
Mm-hmm.
like being in Los
Mm.
Angeles. Los Angeles is a tough place for me. I never really gelled with it. Um, I needed to get away and become a chef. So that was like what I became a chef, and all these things started happening. And like during COVID, I thought, like, why I had a food show for Food Network ready to go. Like I was ready to like sign the contracts. And I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And so I want to go back to acting and writing and producing and doing, things that creating content that really lights my sparks my light. Um, Something like that. Something that I feel like I can make a difference, um, do service in life, and also raise awareness of things that people haven't necessarily thought about before. So I've been doing a lot of writing lately, and it's been great. So I'm really hoping that that is where the world takes me, now that the kids are, needing me less, and I can go on, like this past year I did a show in Amazon, and was out in Vancouver for a bit. So that was fun to like actually get to act in a show that's coming out next summer. Um, and so that's the other side of the glass. I think that is that what you mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
struggles, or I don't,
Doesn't even have to be struggle. It's just like, what do you see on the other side, right? Because I think you're at
yeah.
you're at an interesting point now. Your kids are getting older, and I think we talked about it. Like, now what's next, right? Obviously, career and stuff, but like, what's next for David? Like,
And
who
what are
are
you
you?
excited
Yeah,
about?
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
really excited about creating my own content. I just turned in a gay horror movie,
love that.
and it's wild. It is so wild. It's so fun, and creepy and scary and thought provoking. And I wrote with an amazing co-writer, and um, a new pilot that we wrote with my other writing partner, and I'm working on a new script. And it's been great. I think creating my own content and just trying to be creative as much as possible. Like I think I that's how I need to live, is
Mhm.
is in creativity. And um know that it's not about, I to a fault, I think I take care of everybody too much. I think that I need to take care of myself more than I take care of, my husband and my kids. And now that that's happening, they're like, wait, wait, what about us? And I'm like, no, time out, things are changing. And I mean, people don't necessarily like that change, but
Mhm.
but um but but it has to be done. Like you have to take care of yourself. You have to bring, and I think in turn, your kids will see that you are happier, and then they will be happier. So,
Contagious.
yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm hoping the other side of the glass will go.
That
We'll
sounds
see.
exciting. That sounds exciting. Brian, I'm gonna let you take it away. I'm just so jazzed about this entire conversation. I know we're coming down to the bottom of our time, but
Yeah, no, we appreciate your time, David. What a great conversation. Like, we're super excited for what you have ahead, all these projects. You were such an inspiration. Obviously just me looking up to you as a father, because I am now one, and I feel like I'm like 10 years behind you. So, all the wisdom is amazing. We hope we can
We're
have you
just
back.
we're just living our life, man. We're just,
Yeah.
and we never said we're going to be role models or
Yeah.
whatever, but like we just want people to see that two gay guys can have, you know, a relationship and raise cool kids. Because God, if you meet the kids, they're super cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm really proud of them. Really
Yeah.
proud of them.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on Out Loud and Laughing. Honestly, David, it's been amazing. And hopefully we can have you back in a year to learn more about the other side of the glass.
Great.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. All the best. Good luck with you.
This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.